It's a bit of a variety show, and you never know.
Local television, entertainment, and just plain local TV. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, 30th day of October 2023. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. It is cool. It is 28 degrees here in the big city, more bountiful sunshine and below normal temperatures for all of us here in the viewing area. That ridge of high pressure that has been large and in charge over the last 5 days or so. It's actually going to start moving inland. That's going to allow some systems to pay us a visit by tomorrow afternoon. Could be very wet on Thursday night, and really right into the weekend. We have some rain in the forecast towards the back half of the week, but the temperatures are going to warm up. Not only the afternoon highs, which are overnight lows, because the clouds will kind of blanket over the area and keep us fairly warm. Forecast details are on the way, plus we'll have news. It was a busy weekend in sports. Good weekend for the Eastmont Wildcats. Of course, they win the Columbia Basin Big Nine regular season title. Off to the first round of the state playoffs. The Eastmont girls slow pitch softball team took third in state. We like that. All the high school sports. The Wenatchee Wild have won 5 games in a row. Huskies won. Cougars at one point were 4-0, and the talk of college football. Now they're 4-4. And the Seahawks tried to give it away, didn't. We'll have all of that in sports. And in the back half of the program, we will have Jefferson Robbins and his interview with Brian Campbell, who is running for mayor of Wenatchee. We aired Mike Poyer's interview. He's one of the 2 mayoral candidates. We aired his interview on Friday. We'll air Brian Campbell's today. Of course, Brian ran for mayor 8 years ago, did not win. He wants another crack at the job. Jefferson's conversation with Brian Campbell in the back half of the program. It's cold. Let's go. Leading our cold temperature parade, by the way, right now is Ellensburg at 19. That's cold. 28 here in the big city as we look out over the Wenatchee Valley. Saturday's high and low, 44 and 25. That 25-degree overnight low early Saturday morning was almost a record low for Saturday morning. Yesterday's overnight low was 24, almost a record low, and our afternoon high was 43. Both of those well below normal, but we did have the sunshine. And for today, we will have 10 hours and 6 minutes of daylight. Sunrise will be at 7:41 this morning, sunset 5:47 by point of reference. Last Monday, we had 10 hours and 28 minutes of daylight, so we've lost 22 minutes of daylight in the course of the week. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley. Staying in the valley, going to head to the north in the Cougar Ridge camera. Not a lot to see there. Good morning to Sunny Slope, Sleepy Hollow, Old Station, the Otavashian Bridge, the Town Toyota Center, Walla Walla Point Park, the Harain Natural Area. It's all there. And the Wenatchee River, it's just dark out there on our Cougar Ridge camera looking back over towards the Old Station north side of the Wenatchee Valley. The Belly Go camera, though, is looking pretty good. There you go. Sunrise almost upon us up north with Pateros, Bridgeport, Brewster, Omak, Okanagan, just a couple of high clouds up there. Omak right now, you are checking in at 21 degrees. It's cold up in the Okanagan area. And Ephrata. Good morning to Ephrata. I don't know exactly where that camera is. Ephrata, of course, is pretty flat. And the whole way that these transmitters and translators and repeaters and Sky-Fi cameras and Sky-Fi altogether works, it has to be in the highest possible point you can find. So if you're familiar with the Ephrata area, wherever that is, it's about as high a point as there is in the greater Ephrata area, or the system just doesn't work that way. Hello, Ephrata. It's a pleasure to see you. The week ahead, as I mentioned before, lots of sunshine today, increasing clouds on Tuesday. By Wednesday, it'll be just cloudy, but we will be dry. Wednesday night, we start talking about rain, and we have a good chance of rain on Thursday. On Thursday night, less of a chance of rain on Friday or Friday night, and then a much better chance of rain on Saturday. So we're going to be in for some hit and miss showers starting Wednesday night. The best chance of measurable rain overnight Wednesday night into Thursday, and then once again Friday night and most of the day on Saturday. We have a pretty good chance of measurable rain, but it will be warming up. It will be warming up. So a brief period of more sunshine Dry and sunny conditions, but again, that ridge is moving inland as we speak, and by the time we get to Thursday, it will be gone and unsettled weather will return for most of north central Washington. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Once again, our high temperature on Saturday was 44, yesterday 43, today about 46. Again, lots of sunshine, calm wind. Overnight low about 29, increasing clouds on Tuesday. So lots of sunshine in the morning. By Tuesday, 1 or 2 in the afternoon, the clouds will begin to thicken up as that ridge slides out of the way. Maybe a degree or so warmer. Certainly lots of clouds Tuesday night means the blanket will keep us fairly warm, and we'll have close to normal temperatures by the time we get to Wednesday and Thursday. The overnight lows will be right at normal at 37 degrees. But again, chance of rain Wednesday night is at 70%. Thursday is 70%. Thursday night chance of rain 40%. Friday 30%. Friday night 50%. Saturday rainy. And don't forget, on Saturday night into Sunday morning, whichever you prefer, we finally set our clocks back to standard time. One more week of daylight saving time. All right, that's the weather forecast. It's 6 minutes after the hour. The news is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
We're turning up the heat with the hottest deals of the year. Right now, during the hot summer clearance sale, only at Click It RV. #1 in sales and service. The best RV brands. Over 1,000 to choose from. And the best deals of the year on remaining 2023 model year-end clearance with incredible 30% off. Brand new RVs discounted up to 30%. Save thousands. Plus, no payments until 2024. During the hot summer clearance sale, now only at Click It RV. 5 superstore locations. Hurry in today.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Hi, this is Frank Kuntz, Mayor of the City of Wenatchee. Mike Poyer will make a great mayor. Mike is consistent, he's thoughtful, he shows up, he's prepared, and he always gets to the right answer. Mike just loves this town. He was born and raised here. He has a passion for making this place better, as we all do. And it's been a pleasure working with him on Wenatchee City Council for the past 4 years, and I just look forward to having him lead our city going forward. So join me in voting for Mike Poyer, Mayor.
If you're looking for the best way to buy a pre-owned Honda, look no further than Honda True. You get less to worry about and more benefits. Choose from 3 different tiers with up to 10 model years of Honda vehicles, inspected by a Honda-trained technician. Discover why Honda True means less compromise and more of what you love about Honda.
Apple Valley Honda, your local Honda dealer in East Wenatchee.
Clear skies, 28 degrees. We'll be mid-40s again today with bountiful sunshine. We'll start seeing some clouds rolling in by Tuesday afternoon. Warmer, cloudier, and a chance of rain. Pretty good chance of rain Wednesday night, really, all the way through the upcoming weekend. It's 8 minutes after the hour. The Douglas County Auditor's Office says voters in the city of Waterville have a contest on their ballots that they can't legally cast a vote for. Auditor Thad Duvall sent out a notice on Friday that the 832 registered voters who got ballots within the town of Waterville, those ballots include, by mistake, a commissioner race for Douglas County Fire District number 1. Waterville is not within that fire district. The misprinted ballots can still be used to cast a vote on all applicable races. Duvall says the votes in the erroneous fire district election will simply not be counted. Ballots must be returned, of course, to the election office by 8 o'clock on November 7th. U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has fined the town of Cooley Dam a lot of money, $70,000 and change, for violating the Clean Water Act. The city's wastewater treatment plant was written up for failing to meet requirements of its National Pollutant Discharge Permit. That includes submitting monthly discharge reports and notifying the EPA and the Colville tribes of changes in its discharge operations. The EPA says among other violations, Cooley Dam failed to tell anybody that they had begun operating an entirely new wastewater treatment plant. The federal agency says without proper adherence, it cannot accurately monitor how much pollution is being discharged from a wastewater facility. Attorney General Bob Ferguson says the state of Washington has effectively cleared its backlog of rape kits. There were a lot of them. Some of them have been awaiting forensic analysis for 2 decades. The backlog involved more than 10,000 kits containing evidence from sexual assault cases, which gathered dust until the state legislature began a series of reforms from 2015 to 2019. Those changes required testing of rape kits within 45 days. It also provided the funding to test those rape kits. Ferguson announcing on Thursday that the clearance effort has led to 2,100 instances in which DNA from a rape kit was linked to a known offender. And the city of Wenatchee says it's completed a major cleanup of the Columbia River. It's homeless encampments that were found just below Hale Park and the W.T. Clark Pipeline Bridge. But there's more to be done in order to restore the shoreline damage that was left behind by homeless encampments. Dave Erickson is the City of Wenatchee's Director of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services, and he outlined that cleanup effort to the Wenatchee City Council last Thursday night.
So far this year, we've taken out 31 dump trailer loads of debris from that one little area south of the off-leash area, so everything from needles to trash and other random items. So since May, law enforcement and service providers have been doing outreach to the folks that were down along the river, taking up residency down there, doing contacts, referring them to services. We also, around the same time, maybe in the summertime, ended up having a shoreline violation in that area for illegal grading activity that's happening in unstable slopes, the fill material that's there, as well as issues with the riparian and aquatic habitat down there. This cleanup, as I mentioned, involved a lot of people. So community development, us, police department, mayor's office, Danielle, city attorney, as well as the human service providers around. So there's been a lot of people who've been involved in this since early summer. So then last week, the police department went down and they posted the 72-hour notice, which is required, notice to vacate, and service providers continued to meet with the people down there to try to get them into shelters, into places other than along the river. We hired a contractor who handles hazardous waste. We looked at multiple different types of waste that were down there. So there's e-waste, which is like your cell phone batteries and laptop batteries, stuff like that. Medical waste, which is human feces, needles, that type of thing, and then just trash. So we had to separate those items out and deal with those separately. There's also vegetation and invasive species issues, invasive plant species issues, which is a separate issue that we're hoping to deal with through the budget process, develop a plan to address that, as well as to restabilize the shoreline. If we were able to get that funding, then we would start that work next year. So a few pictures of some of the items that were brought out over the last 3 or 4 days. This is just south of the off-leash area, so lots of bike parts, no whole bikes, but building materials, you name it. Lots of mattresses. There's a sleeper sofa down there, lots of chairs, tables. I mentioned the bike parts, fences, buckets of human waste, building materials. We only found 4 needles, which is unusual because we found more needles in the Lincoln Park bathroom on Monday than we did in this cleanup.
And that is the news on this Monday morning. We will be giving you the news, delivering the news, gathering the news, deciding what exactly is news, and then sending it your way via television, or as we like to say in the business, TV. At 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, the NCW Life Evening News. You can also watch it right around 5 o'clock each weeknight on our homepage, ncwlife.com, on our Facebook page, and there's also our YouTube page. And if there's something out there that you think warrants our attention, you get a hold of us, and the best way to go about doing that, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. It was a busy weekend in sports. We have it all in one big package. Big package, like huge. The way I like them. You know, big and expensive for Christmas. Sports is 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. LocalTel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting localtel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
Check out clubprocashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
This is Grace, and this is her world record-holding guinea pig with an iconic name, Abby.
She currently holds the Guinness World Record for the highest bar jump by a guinea pig. I ride horses and I jump, so I kind of thought it'd be interesting to teach my guinea pig to jump like my horse does.
One day she came out of her room and looked at us, and I said, "Did you get it?" And she said, "Yeah, we got it."
After we won our award, we came to Abby's to celebrate.
"17 minutes after the hour, the Eastmont defense made 3 goal line stands, and they shut down Moses Lake's stud quarterback. They intercepted Brady J 4 times, and they beat the Mavericks 35-8 at Wildcat Stadium. So Eastmont, back-to-back Big 9 league championships. They finished the regular season 9-0. The Mavericks dropped to 8-1. Grant Olson, Brendan Harley, and Eric Grandstrom had the call right here on the NCW Live channel.
Jay looking over that defense, 2 on the play clock, gets it snapped. Now he's in some trouble and just wings it right side and right into the hands of Carson Hyde, I should say 11, is Joseph Lasan on this 2nd down and 8. Handoff. This time it's landed more around the left side, directing traffic, and he's got open field down the sideline. 40, 30, gonna get caught at about the 13. Gale looking right side, has a receiver into the end zone. Ruffins, touchdown Wildcats. Robertson in the backfield with Jay. Jay, 1-step drop, turning that fade pass in the end zone again. Good coverage. Moses Lake receiver Kyson Thomas wanted interference. He's not going to get it, and Moses Lake will turn it over on downs here. And Jay shotgun on this big 4th down play. It's Robertson again, and I don't think he got there.
Oh, he lost a yard.
Holy buckets. The Eastmont defense holds from, like Eric said, about the 6-inch line. 2 receivers split out right side. High snap. Gale does corral it. Screen pass. It's Peterson with blockers in front of him. 45, 1st down yardage and more. Inside the 40 down to the Moses Lake 37-yard line. 1st and goal. They had a 1st and goal at the 7. All right, Gale gonna throw it into the end zone. Ruffins there for the touchdown. Jay, 3-step drop, looking left side, has a receiver there. It's Middleton, and is it picked off? That might have been intercepted, and it is. Peyton Zielinski. Still just underway, 3rd quarter.
Oh, there it is.
Halfback pass down the field, wide open receiver in for the touchdown is Ruffins. Adrian Ruffins on that pass, and I believe it was Bodie Yale, right? Number 32 with the halfback pass. Touchdown, Eastmont. 2nd down and 10 for the Mavericks. Just a little over 10 minutes left in the second quarter. There's a pass. It's high, and it's going to be picked off by the Wildcats' Matt Bender. Now Ranson in motion comes behind Jay. Jay looking left, has a receiver, Roylance, and he dropped it. That was sure 6 points for the Mavericks. Boy, that's big. Here's Guess now. Around the outside, kept his feet, now has all kinds of green. 10-5, touchdown, 35 yards, Peyton Guest. And this is where Eastmont has been stellar here tonight. Jay, lots of pressure from his right side. Easy pass, Ranson into the end zone, and that's a touchdown for the Mavericks.
Look at the swinging gate for a 2-point look here.
Interesting. It's Thomas, why not? He's fast, throws it into the end zone, and I think he found his receiver there. He does, and that 2-point conversion will be good. Pretty much the same formation. Leonhardt, Bryant stay out there with Peterson in the backfield. Same play. This time Gale's going to keep it. Reaches over. The ball comes loose, but I think that's already in for a touchdown, and it should be. Jay back to pass, looking left, wings it down there, and it's picked off in the end zone by the Wildcats' Matthew Bender. What a night for the Eastmont Wildcats as they defeat the previously undefeated Moses Lake Mavericks by a final score of 35-8. Players lining up already to shake hands.
After the game, Eric had a chance to catch up with Coach Michael Don and Adrian Ruffins.
I was saying towards the end of our broadcast that game over on the west side against Skyline, a 21-3 win, you said, okay, that was a nice litmus test to see if we're playoff ready.
Yep.
What does this say about your team right now?
I think we're a playoff caliber ball club. I really feel like we've come a long ways as a program, and this group has shown that they belong with anybody. And we're excited and proud of where we are. And I think Moses Lake could go out next week and beat Chiawana. You know, they've already beaten one team from their league. I could see both our teams, having an opportunity to advance.
I had you for 3 touchdowns all season long. You get 3 touchdowns in one game tonight.
I love it. I love it.
Did you guys see something in the prep this week that made you think that you might be able to get in the end zone?
No, I was surprised actually to get the ball that much, but they found me open and my QB delivered. So.
We talk so much about Gunnar Peterson and we talk about the running game, and I know that you like making those blocks downfield.
I love it. I love it.
So which is better, a pancake block downfield on a DB or a touchdown?
I'm going to have to say a touchdown.
It was a cold night, but it was a fun game to do. So where do we go from here? Moses Lake, they will host Chiawana in a crossover game Friday night at 7 o'clock. Eastmont's going to play the winner of Central Valley and Richland Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Another big night play Friday night. Wenatchee avoided a mini playoff. They beat West Valley 23-21 in West Valley. So the Panthers will travel to play Kamiakin Friday night at 7 o'clock. And Eisenhower won at Cheney. The final there was 24-7. Ephrata claimed the CWAC League Championship with a 13-0 shutout of Ellensburg. The Tigers got some help from East Valley, who dumped Othello 49-13. Prosser beating Sela, and Clarkston dominated Grandview. In the Caribou Trail League, Cashmere held Quincy to just 62 yards of total offense. Bulldogs clinching the Caribou Trail League title 49-0 over the Jackrabbits. Sophomore quarterback Rylan Hatmaker was 9 of 15 for 146 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Chelan topped Cascade 54-13, and Omak beat Cascade Christian in Wenatchee 21-14. In Central Washington B, Okanagan finishes the regular season undefeated, took care of Brewster 54-0. Lake Roosevelt topped Tenasket. Soap Lake dominated Pateros 58-6. And then on Saturday, Waterville Mansfield beat Antioch 34-12, and Liberty Bell bopped Moses Lake Christian 64-30. Les Schwab Prep girls soccer scoreboard from Saturday at the District 6 1B 2B tournament. Tenasket topped Liberty Bell and Okanagan down Brewster. Ephrata season came to an end. They lost to Othello 1-0 in the District 6 and 7 2A tournament. Cashmere repeats as the District 6 1A champion. They beat Cascade 3-0 at Leboff Field to the Apple Bowl. And Quincy ended Chelan's season with a 4-1 win. Wenatchee earned the Big 9 regular season title by beating Eisenhower on Saturday 3-1. They will host Eastmont Thursday in the district playoffs. The Wildcats shut out Davis 4-0. At the District 6 2B volleyball tournament at Omak High School on Saturday, Lake Roosevelt topped Liberty Bell. Brewster beat Tenasket. Okanagan swept 3 from Lake Roosevelt, and Manson blanked Brewster. Volleyball continues with Chelan in the District 6 1A tournament. They won the championship. They're used to doing that. They swept Cashmere at the Wenatchee High School gym on Saturday. Omak beat Quincy in a loser-out game. Cashmere then turned around and ended Omak's season 3-0. Ephrata wrapped up their regular season in the CWAC with a 3-0 sweep of Sela. The Eastmont Wildcats slow-pitch girls softball team took 3rd place. Way to go in the state tournament in Yakima. They lost a heartbreaker to Woodinville on Friday, 18-17. And then they bounced back. They beat Bothell 22-2, and then they beat Skyview 17-12 and Central Valley 15-11 to take home the 3rd place trophy. The Wenatchee Wild earning some well-deserved rest this week with a weekend sweep. In the Western Hockey League, it began on Friday in Everett. The Wild lost a lead in regulation, but they won it in overtime. They beat the Silvertips 4-3. Mike Benton with the call on the Silvertips Hockey Network.
They could all fly. Here's Rogers Bootkart setting up the one-timer. They score. Luca Sherbina with a blast from the near circle, and the Wenatchee Wild have tied it with 5:48 remaining in the first. As Daniel Hauser with one more massive shot. Here's a takeaway, and they score. Ty Gibson sent it off the boards. A wonky bounce off the kick plate, popped in front. Palmer never saw it. Kinskiki to the net. Blockers say Palmer up into the air and in. Palmer punched it up into the air. It lands right behind him. The goal will be credited, I believe, to Connor Geeky. And the Wild pick up a power play goal. It's 3-1. Smith feeds Heslop, a one-timer, bouncing around in front. Loose in the crease, they score! Tapped in by Austin Ruth. The Tips are within one. It's 3-2. Digging for it along the wall, it's Miettinen. Back in the trapezoid. Hemmerling in front, a chance. They score! Teague Patton equalizes with 15 seconds left. Sword looking for Isogai. Gibson lost his footing. Isogai in by himself. He scores. Kenta Isogai sinks it past Tyler Palmer, and the Wenatchee Wild win it 4-3 in overtime. Ty Gibson lost his footing at his own blue line, and a tough blow.
So that was Friday night in Everett. Saturday, they were back home at the Town Toyota Center, and Daniel Hauser proved to be the man of the night. He earned his 2nd shutout in a Wenatchee uniform. They win over Kelowna 4-0. Our friend Austin Drade with a call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.
13:50 left in the first period. Wild looking to get that first goal of the night, and they got it. Kenta Isogai with the shot left wing, and the Wenatchee Wild have the first goal of the night. It's 1-0. Right out of the break, Evan Friesen breaks down the ice and scores a shorthanded goal. It's 2-0 Wenatchee. Turn back to Cowper. Cross ice pass off the wall. Looking for Andrew Christo or make that Goisik. Wild get it back. Moore looking for the sharp angle. Drops it off. Nothing there. Swart with a rip, and he scores! Graham Swart left unmarked atop the left wing face-off circle. Geeky trying to get back to the forehand side. Chased on the goal line as Babcock stayed with him. Geeky not able to get back to the forehand. Sent toward the net, trying to collect it for a shot. Cooper nothing there. Looking for it, and they score! Just off the far post. And Kekkonen could not collect it. Miles Cooper puts the Wild miles ahead. It's a 4-goal game. Down to 10 seconds to play. Tap left wing. Stutes trying to get to it. Chase back to the near half wall. Wanted to leave it behind. It's stolen by Wu. We'll let the crowd tell you the rest. A dozen for Daniel. Daniel Hauser's 12th career shutout. And the Wild win it 4-0.
Make that 5 in a row now for the Wenatchee Wild. They are off until Friday. They'll host Vancouver at 7 o'clock at the Town Toyota Center. For the Kraken, they couldn't hold an early lead Saturday. Lost to the Panthers in Florida. The final was 3-2. Jared McCann and Eli Tolvanen found the back of the net to give Seattle a 2-0 advantage. But Florida battled back, scoring the final 3 tallies. Seattle wraps up their 4-game road trip at Tampa Bay today, 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Root Sports Northwest. The 5th-ranked Washington Huskies remain undefeated. but not with another fight against a team they should dominate. Michael Penix Jr., however, pretty good game, 4 touchdown passes and 1 interception. For a QB rating of 54.4, Washington holds on to beat Stanford 44-33. Arizona State snaps a 6-game losing streak. The Cougars have now lost 4 in a row. The final on Tempe on Saturday night, 38-27. The Cougars had no answers for DeCarlos Brooks, who rushed for 3 touchdowns. Eastern Washington allowed Portland State to rush for 403 yards. Wow. Joby Mallory led the way. He had 241 yards. The Vikings beat Eastern 47-35. And Kennedy McGill's 2-yard touchdown run with $1:31 left gives Central Washington the 21-17 victory on the road at Texas A&M Kingsville. Central has won 7 in a row, and they are undefeated in league play. Well, Seahawks, they needed the touchdown in the closing seconds to pull out. Had come from behind victory. It looked something like this. They were trailing 20-17. Boop. Ball in the air. Jamal Adams deflecting a pass off his helmet. Julian Love intercepts it. That means one more chance at midfield. And there you go. Geno Smith's screen pass to Jackson Smith-Njigba for the 9-yard touchdown pass. Seattle is up 24-20. They held on 4th down, and they are now 5-2 on the season. Here is the 4th down stop. Tried to give it away, but they didn't. Smith, 23 of 37 for 254 yards and a couple of touchdowns and a couple of interceptions. Seattle's defense came up with 2 interceptions, a sack, strip, fumble recovery, and 3 sacks. Seattle's win combined with the 49ers losing to the Bengals. Guess who's in first place in the NFC West? Seahawks. They're at Baltimore, by the way, next Sunday at 10 a.m. And Game 3 of the 119th World Series tonight in the desert. Of course, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks split their first 2 games over the weekend. Adolis Garcia hitting a dramatic walk-off home run in the bottom of the 11th to give Texas the victory on Friday 6-5. Arizona dominated Saturday's game 9-1. Games 3, 4, and 5 all in Phoenix over the next 3 nights. You'll know what I'll be doing at 5 o'clock tonight. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 32 minutes after the hour, 5 obscure holidays cross my desk. It is Mischief Night. It is National Publicist Day. It's National Candy Corn Day. It's National Create a Great Funeral Day. But no, today is National Checklist Day today because a very important event took place on October 30th, 1935. I'll tell you about that in just a minute. Checklists are important. If you got a big event coming up and you have a checklist, it's great for procrastinators, great for people who have organizational skills. It's every step of the way. Check it off, done, done, done. And you get that little release of endorphins when the checklist has been completed. Why October 30th? October 30th, 1935, a B-17 Flying Fortress crashes while taking off at Wright Field in Dayton, Ohio. They realized that a lock that was supposed to be disengaged was still engaged. And so a bunch of professional pilots and people in the airline industry in the mid-1930s got together and came up with the pre-flight checklist, which is now, of course, standard procedure. Before you take off, before you do anything in an airplane, the pilot and the co-pilot and the engineer and everybody else goes through their checklist one item at a time because of this event on October 30th, 1935. That's why it is Checklist Day today. Today in history, it was Sunday evening, October 30th, 1938. Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater broadcasts War of the Worlds, which ended up scaring the bejesus out of a whole bunch of people on the East Coast. And the scenario, it was a Sunday night, the most listened to radio night of the year. It was 8 o'clock. The number 1 radio program was Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy on the NBC Broadcasting Network, and War of the Worlds and the Edgar Bergen show began at 8 o'clock. And most people were listening to the Edgar Bergen show on War of the Worlds. They started out the broadcast with, this is a fictional account of the great H.G. Wells novel. This is going to sound like a newscast. It isn't. This is a play. But most people didn't hear it because they were listening to the other program. Well, 12 minutes into the Edgar Bergen program, they went to commercial, so people moved their radio dials over to CBS to listen to War of the Worlds, not knowing that this was a play, and they actually thought that we were being invaded by Martians. October 30th, 1938. By the way, the original broadcast is available to you to listen to. It's in the public domain. 78 years ago today, October 30th, 1945, Jackie Robinson of the Kansas City Monarchs signs a minor league contract with the Brooklyn Dodgers. He would report to Montreal the following spring, and as the Dodgers said, if it works out well and he proves he can play in the majors in the spring of 1947, we will promote him to Brooklyn. The color line really in this way was kind of broken on this date on October 30th, 1945. This is the 49th anniversary of the Rumble in the Jungle. It took place in Zaire. It's not called Zaire anymore. It's now the Democratic Republic of the Congo. They'll probably change the name by the end of this show. George Foreman, Muhammad Ali. Ali was a 4-1 underdog. And I'll tell you a little bit more about this fight once you see how the fight ended.
Ali just takes him, protecting his face at all times, does Ali. Foreman throwing more punches now. Maybe this could be the tactic of Ali to let the man punch himself out. 30 seconds left in round 8. Very even fight. Ali, a sneaky right hand. Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder of Foreman.
Now, in order for the fight to be broadcast live via closed circuit on the East Coast of the United States, by the way, like 1 billion people watch this fight worldwide. I kid you not, that's an estimate. The fight itself was held at 4 o'clock in the morning in Zaire on the morning of October 30th. It was actually in the evening of October 29th when people watched Ali rope-a-dope his way to the heavyweight championship. And finally, birthdays. We always do presidents. The second president of the United States, John Adams, born in the state in 1735, lived to the age of 90. Of the original founding fathers of the first 5 United States presidents, John Adams was the only president who was not a slaveholder. His predecessor, George Washington, had 300 slaves. Ironically enough, when he was sworn into office in Washington, D.C., none of his family members were there. It wasn't out of spite. When he lost his re-election to Thomas Jefferson, he didn't go to Thomas Jefferson's inauguration. They were feuding back then. They eventually made up. John Adams, the second president of the United States. Harry Truman, that Harry Truman. You remember him from Mount St. Helens? Lived at Spirit Lake, had his lodge there, lived off bourbon and Coke. Quite the character. He didn't like, and I'm quoting now, Republicans, hippies, young children, and old people. Apparently he didn't like anybody. Harry Truman lost his life when Mount St. Helens erupted in May of 1980 at the age of 83. And happy birthday to the Fonz. Henry Winkler's got a book out, a memoir. This makes you feel old. Henry Winkler is 78. Gonna take a break. Mike Mignotti has an opinion. On Friday, we aired Jefferson Robbins and his conversation with Mike Poyer, one of the 2 finalists for the Wenatchee mayor's job. His challenger, Brian Campbell, sat down with Jefferson Robbins. We'll have that conversation, too. In the back half of this program, you're watching a Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Let Mary Maid's custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maid's cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it, if only you had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties, Mary Maids, let us help.
Get your favorite beverage and a wide variety of food choices all under one big roof at the Tap Room in Pybus. The Tap Room has the most popular choices for lunch and dinner in the Valley. With unique appetizers, salads, sandwiches, and tasty rice bowls, everybody will find a new favorite dish. Plus many craft beers from Hellbent Brewing, or you can choose wine, cider, or a delightful craft cocktail. Experience the family-friendly Tap Room at Pybus for yourself. It's just what you've been looking for. When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a four-letter word. I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting. I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, there's a trend in evangelical Christianity called compartmentalism. This theory says that even though men or women, they're different, but they have complementary roles and responsibilities in marriage, even though they're equal in the eyes of God. There's just different roles in family life and religious leadership. Well, that sounds nice, doesn't it? Well, actually, no, because what this theory is saying in plain English, that men are still the boss and women are subservient. Interestingly, this goes in the face of numerous biblical examples of women who are leaders, teachers, and apostles. It also goes into the face of Jesus' demonstration of respect for women and their spiritual astuteness, which usually exceeded that of the men Jesus dealt with. Now, despite my long-time involvement in dealing with domestic abuse issues, I still stand amazed and chagrined at the lengths we men will go to keep women in subjection and not fully recognize their worth in our lives, particularly with those who claim to follow Jesus' example. This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and that's my opinion.
In today's environment, risk management assessment is a crucial process for your business. Risk assessment will identify, evaluate, and mitigate hazards. Don't let risk impact your business income, reputation, operations, and your overall success. We can give you peace of mind by transferring your business risks to the insurance providers. Call Stacy at August Edge Insurance today to schedule a risk management assessment for your business.
Are you hungry enough to eat the end out of a rhinoceros? I know how you feel. Come on out to Blueberry Hills. You'll have a great time. We've got excellent food, a feet on the furniture kind of experience, and we won't hustle you out of your table. If you want a real farm experience, make the trek to Manson to Blueberry Hills, where you sit, you pick, you eat, and you visit. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Bienvenido al Centro de Resolución de Conflictos. Brindamos servicios a los condados de Grant y Adams, ayudando a empresas y personas a resolver problemas difíciles. Ofrecemos ayuda con conflictos de trabajo, problemas residenciales y asuntos familiares. Podemos capacitar a su personal en habilidades de prevención y resolución de conflictos. Llámenos al 509-237-3705 para obtener más información.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Jefferson Robbins with NCW Life. It's the first contested mayor's race in about 12 years. And the candidate who joins me as a candidate for Wenatchee mayor is one of the guys who was running 12 years ago. Brian Campbell, thanks a lot for being here.
Thanks, Jefferson. Pleasure to be here.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, Brian, and your background, and what do you think makes you fitted for this job?
Well, as I've said before, I'm a Wenatchee native. Love the town and love the people and want to help. I want to be a true public servant, not just talk the talk, but walk the walk. And if you look at the history and what I enjoy doing, it's community service. I said over 100 years. It's actually 150 years when I added them all up, the different organizations I've been involved with, and I just love that. I love helping people and making their lives better, and that's why I decided to enter the race again this time. I really wasn't planning on it, but recently people have been coming to me and asking me to step up. That's who I'm answering to. The people have really been fed up that the crime and the businesses being driven out, the homelessness. People are really upset about that, and we don't want to see this beautiful town that's the best place in the world to live go down that road.
Well, your statement there ties homelessness together with crime. Is it a crime to be homeless? And should our response to homelessness be one of police enforcement?
I think it's a combination. There's a lot of compassion for the homeless, and that's part of our problem right now, is that we're getting homeless from other areas, and we need to take care of our homeless, absolutely. Wenatchee's homeless come first in my mind. If they're coming in from Spokane or Tri-Cities or Seattle, because we are so compassionate, we've got some great services for the people that need them. And there's a lot of issues involved. There's, of course, mental health issues, drug issues, kind of go together. We've got to address that, and we've got to get those people back into society and be productive members of society. And I've interviewed a lot of the homeless, and most of them do have drug or mental illness issues. There are a few local ones, homeless people that have they've lost their jobs. And sometimes they've lost their jobs because of chemical dependency, but they're back on the right track. I know of a couple in particular that were about to have job interviews and try to get back in and get some affordable housing. And I'm pretty excited for those people to get back on track. But government tends to have a tendency to kind of put them out of sight, out of mind, so that the general population doesn't run across and see what looks like small internment camps. They're concerned that once people get into those situations that they don't get out. And that's where the resources need to be spent, in my mind, is making sure that we're working with those people to get them back on track. And you can't just go and buy them a house and say, there you go.
You said, I think, that Wenatchee's homeless need to come first. Well, homelessness is a migratory experience. People are moved, or circumstances move them from one place to another when they have no shelter. So how do you distinguish between Wenatchee homeless and homeless who happen to be in Wenatchee?
One of the things that we needed was low barrier shelters, because when people come in and they have a substance abuse problem, they can't get into some of the facilities because they require that they be clean before they get into those facilities. And so we needed the low barrier facilities to get them in. Once we get them in, then we can work on getting them actual rehabilitation. But in that process, with the low barrier shelters, they do have the ability to identify the people coming in, fingerprint, whatever it takes, so that they can track them through the system. And I don't believe that's happening. And so they get lost in the system. Similar to coming across the border and not identifying who people are.
Does that mean you deny services to people who can't show quote-unquote residency in Wenatchee? I mean, this is a difficult question.
That's a very difficult question. That's why I say with the low barrier shelters, at least you have the ability to identify who they are and where they are. And that is the toughest question. You certainly don't just say, sorry, we can't take care of you, you're going to have to freeze out here. No, we have to take care of everybody, but there has to be a process where we try to get the services for those people in the cities where they're from. We just can't we just can't be overwhelmed with that. It drains all of our resources, and we've got some sort of a balance there.
You mentioned the perceived unsightliness of some shelter outreach programs. I think maybe you're speaking about the safe parks that the city has opened on either end of Wenatchee.
Yeah.
Do you see the Safe Park project continuing if you're mayor? Is that an obligation that you see the city having to maintain, or do you want to see it ended or changed?
When I see a labeling issue a lot of times with those, I would call those unsafe parks. If you look at Safe Park 2, they've already been a couple of vehicles burned. There's drugs going on in those safe parks. They're supposed to be drug-free, but there's not really any way to monitor that. So they're in the low barrier shelters because they're not clean, so to speak, as far as drugs go. And therefore, you can expect that it's continuing while they're there. So the more you enable that population to stay in that state of condition that they're in, the more apt they are to stay in that condition. So I want to see them get circulated back out into society.
We're talking about $1,200 to $1,900 for very small apartments if they're available. We're talking about median home prices that are north of $500,000 and rising. So what part can the city play in trying to get a supply of affordable housing in Wenatchee?
The affordable housing part of that is so important. And we did have, as you're aware, 84 units of affordable housing in the system just coming online, just south of the high school. And for some reason, at our last interview, that's one thing we talked about, and everybody was for affordable housing, 100%. We had an obligation, to provide that affordable housing. And less than a month after that interview, the city council voted to eliminate all 4 of those 84 affordable housing units, and the developer was enriched with millions of dollars in equity because now they can charge their market rates of approximately $1,650 a month instead of somebody came in and they made $4,000 a month. 30% of their income can only go towards housing, so that would be $1,200 a month, and they would have to offer those units at $1,200 a month. So that differential of $450 a month at a capitalization rate of 6.5%, i.e. a rate of return of an investor, it equates to $6.9 million in equity on that cash flow. So that was just so disappointing to see the developers get that kind of money, and potentially 84 families lost the ability to get affordable housing.
Brian, Dominic Bonney, a local investigative reporter, in his blog this week disclosed a photo that you posted on Facebook with a Wenatchee Valley Fire Department response vehicle. According to Dominic's reporting, the department says they asked you not to use that photo for campaign purposes, but you were wearing a campaign pin and you posted the photograph to your Facebook. Was posting the photo the right decision when you'd been asked not to?
Once again, like I told Dominic in my response, once again, the information is incorrect. I showed up at the fire station to take pictures from the outside. My photographer thought it'd be really cool to have a picture of the fire trucks in the bay. I said, you can't do that. And he was kind of persistent about, well, why not? Didn't understand the rules. And I thought, okay, I'll get him the answer that he needs to hear. So I said, okay, you go ahead. Because he said, can I ask him? Can I ask him? I said, okay, go ahead. So we went and asked him, and of course they came out and said, we can't be perceived as supporting any particular candidate. We have to remain neutral. And they, according to the revised code of Washington, the RCW, they cannot, use their apparatus or any of their products in the advertising. So no problem. I knew that was the case. I knew the law, I think, better than they did. So we went back outside, and they said, well, let's just get a picture by the SUV. That's a whole different thing. And then we weren't told not to do that. So, they're tying the two things together, but they're not the same. Took that picture and posted it. There's no problem with that. It's not an issue. And it was not in response to, you can't take that picture.
The newest campaign signs that you have put out, Brian, have the motto, fighting for your faith, family, and freedom.
Yes.
Can you explain that motto?
again, I'm not here with what my plan is for the city. I'm here for what the people's plan is for the city. And the people are telling me the things that they've felt that they've been losing is they've been losing their faith. They haven't been able to go to church, during COVID. That was a real big thing for a lot of people. That was, taboo to be in the big congregations, obviously, unless you're going to the grocery store or to a bar. But couldn't go to the gym, couldn't go to church. So people were really very upset about that. And our faith, our family, and freedom seems to be the three pillars that people really feel like have been taken down in the last 2 or 3 years. And so that's why I put that there, because I'm fighting for the people. And so I'm fighting for their faith, family, and freedom, even if they're atheists, that's their faith, So whatever their faith is, I'm there to support their right to exercise that faith and to take care of their family and where they need to take care of their family and their freedom. So that's what I'm fighting for, and so that's why that motto is there. I'm not going to forgive myself if I don't step up, knowing that I have the ingredients, the skill set, and what's necessary to get us on the right track and to basically save our small town. Yeah, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't do that.
Brian Campbell, candidate for mayor of Wenatchee in our next election. Thanks a lot for being here.
Thank you, Jefferson. Appreciate it.
You're watching the NCW Life channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Crystal's Intimate Lounge in downtown Leavenworth is a wonderful place to enjoy mouth-watering appetizers and drinks while socializing, watching sports, playing bingo, pull tabs, or simply relaxing while enjoying the breathtaking mountain views. Crystal's family-friendly restaurant has a warm environment to enhance your dining experience, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Crystal's restaurant, lounge, and event space is located 2 blocks west of downtown Leavenworth on Highway 2.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Campfire North Central Washington, serving youth ages 3 to 18. Register today in one of Campfire's programs. Club members meet regularly with volunteer leaders to learn responsibility, sharing, cooperation, and citizenship. When a child is involved in Campfire, they will be actively learning and engaged in activities, encouraged to learn new skills, feel a part of the group, learn to work in a team setting, participate in planning, goal setting, and making lasting memories.
Getting ready to wrap up a Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Temperature has dropped a degree since this show started at 7 a.m. It's now 27 degrees, but that usually happens for the first 15 to 20 minutes after the sun came up, and the sun just came up. Sunrise this morning was at 7:41, and we're in for a bit of a change in the weather pattern, really beginning late tomorrow afternoon. We're still under the influence of that ridge of high pressure, which gave us bountiful sunshine, but very chilly temperatures. We almost set record low temperatures overnight, Saturday night, and last night, but we didn't. That ridge of high pressure, though, is going to start moving actually right over north central Washington. And what does that mean? Well, lots of sunshine today, and for the most part on Tuesday. The clouds will begin to thicken up on Tuesday night, but it's also going to make the temperatures considerably warmer than what we've had, especially for those overnight lows. They're going to be a good 10 degrees warmer than what we had during this cold snap. It's also going to increase the chance of rain for the Wenatchee Valley starting Wednesday night and really hit and miss showers all the way through Sunday. So things are going to get rather unsettled. We got to get there first, though. So from the National Weather Service, once again, lots of sunshine today. For the record, Saturday we hit 44, yesterday 43, today 46. 29 for the overnight low tonight. A degree or so warmer, but again, as the day progresses, especially mid to late afternoon, you'll notice the high clouds begin to float in, and we'll get up to about 47. The cloud cover is going to keep us fairly warm, all things considered. 34 for the overnight low on Tuesday. Wednesday during the day, lots of clouds, dry, right around 47 or 48. Then we start talking about rain. Wednesday night, 70% chance. All day Thursday, 70% chance. And a chance of rain right into the weekend. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
One incumbent are in the race to be the mayor of Leavenworth for the next 4 years with this November election. I'm joined right now by the incumbent mayor, Carl Flory. You've been working with the problem of housing affordability for quite some time,
Right.
even previous to your mayorship.
Right.
Can you talk about what steps you've been able to make in your first term and what you'd like to see accomplished on that front in the second term?
If we're going to house and affordably house a workforce, they're going to be smaller units. There's going to be, cottages. There's going to be the idea that you can build affordable single-family homes on a single-family lot. That ship sailed. That's not possible. The cost of them, just the cost alone, makes it impossible.